Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is the FV304. It's the Tier 6 British SPG. This one's located on the northeast corner of Arctic region, and it's under the command of Comrade Sergey. And unfortunately, we don't have anything showing for his equipment. Game on! I don't think Comrade Sergey's woken up yet. Well, the gun's moving. And he's into action. Okay, this is an Arty that was never actually built, but would have been built. It was one of the plans to make fighting vehicles, and there was a whole series of them from 300 all the way up to 305 and I think beyond. And, well, this Arty might have actually been built if they'd been inclined. In the game, it's actually got a 4.5-inch howitzer, so it's actually capable of doing 450 alpha, and he's fired his first round at a heavy tank number 6 and missed. Yeah, so it actually is capable of 450 alpha, 28mm pen, 2.2 meters on the burst radius. It's also got a fairly fast fire rate as well, 12.94 by the for each reload. And he's got 10.68 at the moment. Now, it does have a fairly high trajectory, like the Bishop. In fact, it's using the same gun as the Bishop. And in fact, the Crusader 5.5 uses the same gun as the stock armament. Now, of course, the 4.5-inch wasn't actually used, but it's a fictional artillery piece that they use for it. Oh! Well, he's taken out the Skoda T25, so he's got his first kill. Of course, Wargaming do have a habit of actually putting the wrong Arty in, and he's just taken out the CDT with his next shot. Now he's going after that heavy tank number 6. Rounds out, long range shot. Well, he damaged the tracks, but he didn't actually hit the vehicle. Just shows that if you get it close, you will actually do some damage. Now, as I say, they never actually built this Arty. It never went ahead. In fact, the Bishop only had a 25-pounder gun, not the 4.5-inch. The 4.5-inch was used by the Finns as part of the BT-42. Okay, we lost the Super Chappie. We're now firing at that heavy tank number 6 again. He seems to be evading us at the moment. Now, this Arty is the fastest one in the game, 72.4 kilometers an hour. Oh, he's just killed the heavy tank number 6 with a blind hit. That's his third kill in that Arty. Okay, so he's moving closer because, of course, this Arty, because it's angled the way it is in the vehicle, it's actually a short range Arty. So you can't get it to go a long distance. You have to get close to the enemy just to get a shot on them. But it means the shell trajectory is very high, and that means it can come down on enemies that are hiding behind rocks, as you can see there. A lot of the enemy are actually gathering together up in the north, and we can see a Crusader making his way up around the lake. Now, he'll probably come in this direction. So, Comrade Sergey's decided he's going to take a bit of protective measure, and he's going to situate himself somewhere where he can get hits on the enemy if they try to get near our cap. Okay, at the moment, he's out of range of the guys up in the north. Trying to get closer. You can see when you get a flattened reticule, you know that you are at maximum range. Trying to dial in on that VK2801. More likely to be hiding behind an object. So that's why he aimed for the rock there instead of where the guy was previously located. He's guessing at the moment. You don't have a whole lot of shells, though. You do have to be careful. You do have 75, but if you keep blasting away, you will soon use them up. Remember that it takes a penetration to get the full roll, and therefore you'll nibble away at the enemy bit by bit. Can't see the VK or the budgie at the moment, so these shots are technically wasted. They're not doing anything. And that's down to the fact that our teammates just aren't moving forward. Now, if Comrade Sergey goes forward, he'll probably get shot at, and then they'll know where the enemy is. Now, he's out of range of that budgie, so he has to move closer. It looks like that Crusader that was originally in the position where we could see him on the other side of the lake, he actually moved away and went somewhere else. In fact, I think he may have returned to the enemy cap area, because if you've noticed, our Basotto is now in the woods at the back of their cap. Oh, that was a hit on the budgie for 235. That's a low roll penetration. Or at least if it wasn't a penetration, it was certainly a very good shot. Going for the VK again. Yeah, little light tanks tend to move about quite a lot. He's better off going for the budgie for the moment. And again, we lose sight of them. But the good news is we've got a teammate round there. The M4A3 76 wet spots the enemy and we get shot. Again, our teammates just don't seem to be playing along. They're not spotting. Well, they are now. Let's see if we can get damage on this budgie. Yeah, unfortunately, he takes out the M4A3. We're only one tank up on the enemy at the moment. And unfortunately, we lost the Basotto at the other end. But we've still one tank up on the enemy. And there's the budgie. Rounds out. And that did a fair bit of damage. But the budgie's turning around slowly because, of course, he's damaged and he's trying to retreat. Fires around in and looks away. So we don't know if that did anything. You can see the other Arty is also firing in that direction. So they've only got 3 tanks left. We've got 4. Well, we've got 2 Arties. They've got 2 budgies. So, Comrade Sergey, it looks to me like he's setting up to receive the enemy when they come over here. Our M44 has departed from this area because our guys have gone to the south. He should actually head to the south as well. Otherwise, he's going to get wiped out. From here, Comrade Sergey can't do anything. So he's got 3 kills already. He could get a top gun if he can take out all 3 remaining enemy. In fact, everyone's saying go to the enemy cap. But one of the budgies has turned up and he's blocking the VK3002M from coming around the corner. In fact, the VK has now gone down. So it's 3 versus 3. So he fires 1 snapshot in and it misses. See the budgie there. He's turning to face us. That might be the big mistake he makes. If he tries to get shots on us, then of course Comrade Sergey can wipe him out. And he does! And he's potentially got a fighter badge out of that one. We're getting 4 kills. Now would be the moment to use his speed and speed around the south. Whoa, the budgie has turned up, the other one. There he is. And unfortunately, we can't get a shot on him because the rock we're close to at the moment is in the way, and we've just lost the VK3601. So now it's 2 RTs on our team and one Arty and a medium tank on the enemy. But the medium tank just opened the distance. He fires one in. He looked away after shooting. Obviously, as I say to people, if you look away after shooting, we can't see what your shell does. And then you don't know if you hit them or not, or even if you came close to them. So it's much better for you. And he's damaged his tracks there. Went over that too fast. Now he's going to have to spot them. And we've lost our teammate in the M44. He went too far south. Got taken out by the MX-13 F3AM on the enemy team. So he's now going to have to take out the enemy budgie. And he's probably going to have to do it. Oh, well, there you go. Now, he could auto-aim on. He has auto-aimed on. But he can't get an easy shot at the moment. He's going to lose sight and lock very shortly. Okay. Now he shotguns him at close range. That was a manually done one. Not auto-aimed on. You have to keep the enemy in sight or you'll lose the auto-aim. But if you do lock on, quickly move to a position and fire before the auto-lock is lost, you can get great shots. In fact, I've actually done that in the Crusader 5.5, which of course has the gun facing backwards. You can auto-aim on and fire even whilst you're moving, and it's fairly accurate. And that's why you can actually kill enemy tanks as you're running away from them. Okay, so it's now Arty versus Arty, and the enemy's got the AMX-13 F3AM with a 155mm gun. But at this range, he can be very, very deadly. If he gets close to us with his 155mm gun, and we've just spotted him. There he is. Okay, now he's not in the aim yet. And he's wiped out with one shot, and that's a Top Gun, and wins the game for Comrade Sergey.
Your assistance has been requested.
Here's the end of battle stats, and that's a first-class tanker for Comrade Sergey in the FV304. He managed to get a Bruiser Medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. In fact, he got 10, and he got a Top Gun for getting at least 6 kills. In fact, he killed the last 3 enemies in the game. His win rate from that one, 2,652, which is Unicum standard. Let's have a look at the team score. Well, the highest damage in the game turned out to be one of the budgies, who actually managed to get a high caliber for 2,429 hit points of damage. And the next highest scorer was the other budgie, who got 1,646. And those two guys were in platoon, but they were also in platoon with a T-3485M. When it came to Comrade Sergey, he got 1,193. Now, he was actually beaten by only 3 players on the enemy team, but 3 members of his own team, which places him 7th on damage. When it came to kills, we can see top scorer was, in fact, Comrade Sergey. 6 kills to him, 5 kills went to one of the budgies, and 3 kills went to the other budgie. And when it came to base XP, yes, he got the highest on that one as well. 771 went to Comrade Sergey, 758 went to the VK3601H on his team, and 713 went to the M6. The closest the enemy got was 638 base, and that was for one of the budgies. He fired 38 rounds, but a lot of them were wasted. He could have actually fired a lot less if he needed to. 9 direct hits on the enemy, no penetrations at all, but he did get 17 splash. So I was wrong in that he did get a penetrating shot. It was just a very good roll on the budgie. When he fired it in and he could actually see the guy, he got a hit for, I think it was over 200, 230 hit points. And that really ruined the game for that budgie. He also got 1,193 hit points of damage, of which 987 were at more than 300 meters. So you can see there was some close range shots. And of course, one of those was on one of the budgies when he actually shotgunned the guy manually at close range. He damaged 8 of the enemy, killed 6 of them. So he was on course for getting a Radley Waters at one point. On a free-to-play account, he actually earned 7,637 credits from that game as well. And 1,542 experience points. So yes, he could have actually saved a lot of money on his shells. He actually had to spend 9,500 for it, and he could have increased that take-home amount quite a lot. But yes, there's a temptation to blast away and see if you can hit something you can't see. He did have one excellent shot, which was, of course, the heavy tank number 6, which he was fairly sure that the guy was fairly close and that he was actually aiming in the right direction. And he did get a blind kill on the guy in the end. But when you're actually firing away and you just don't know where the enemy tanks are, it might actually be a waste of ammo, which you might need later on. So it's obviously better to be careful than be sorry later on. So well done to Comrade Sergey. I hope you enjoyed that replay. If you did, please give this video a like, and thank you for watching.